much. Thank you guys very much for coming out. I had a birthday last year. Yeah? Anyone do... That was going to be easy. Anyone else do birthdays last year? It was a good birthday. Yeah, it was a good year for him. I turned 30 last year, which it's fine. People have always been like when I told people I was turning 30, it was always like one way or the other. People were either like, oh, you turned 30, it's no big deal. Or people were like, oh, you turned 30, fucking kill yourself. Like, it's over. It's not worth it. I'm in it now. It's neither. It's right in the middle, right? No big changes. The song Glory Days gets me more choked up than usual. That's about it. It's not going to, like, ruin a Tuesday or anything. I turned 30 on September 10th. That's when my birthday is. It's kind of a weird birthday. Growing up with a birthday September 10th. It'd just always be weird. Like, my aunt would give me, like, a real nice present, but then she'd always have to say something like, now, just so you know, that's for your birthday and 9/11. It's like... Holiday birthdays, right, guys? Just real. Do some of you guys not do 9/11 gifts? Must be a sad day for you guys. That's a real bummer. That's how you turn a day around. You just give gifts. It's a cool day now, right? That's how you get it back, right? Easter used to be a sad day, right? Jesus is dead. Uh-oh. Then someone brought chocolates, and everyone was like, he'll probably be back. Good. It's like it looks like an egg, but there's peanut butter. It's good. It's good. I grew up, like I said, I'm 30, so I grew up like late 80s, early 90s. I grew up like around time there's like a lot of arcade, like arcades, but there was just a lot of arcade machines. Like besides the arcades themselves, like you go to a grocery store, restaurant, there's at least one. And I always wanted to play them, but when I grew up, we didn't have a lot of money. So after asking my mom or dad a few times to play the machine and them saying no, we kind of mutually developed this system we called free play. And how free play worked was I go up to my mom, I'd be like, hey, can I go free play the machine? And she'd be like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And what I do is while the machine was like in its demo mode, just showing the gameplay, I would move the joystick and hit the buttons and pretend I was playing, right? And that'll keep me busy for like 15 or 20 minutes. She could do what she had to do. It worked out for everybody. And now as I've gotten older, that's kind of how I see voting. You know, like, right? You know, you're just pressing buttons like, hey, I'm doing something. It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Right, I think we all know at this point, if you're not plugging money in the machine, you're not really playing the game. You know, you're just kind of just watching it. Yeah, I don't vote. I like conspiracy theories a lot. Seems to go hand in hand. It's funny. I mean, I like them. I think conspiracy theories are a good thing for this country. Like, as long as they still exist in mass, everything's probably okay. Like, the country's probably in good shape. Because I think conspiracy theories are definitely the privilege of the successful nation. You know? Because I don't think you could go to, like, a little village in East Africa and hear someone like, hey, do you think they're going to create some sort of false flag event in order to wield more power over the village? No, I think if they don't like what we do, they're just going to murder us all in a pile. I think it's just going to be a big old pile murder. So, actually, we probably shouldn't even be talking about this. Let's just get back to the cassava. And it's regionally accurate. It's fun. I don't think I'm a conspiracy theorist. Like, I don't. My friends, people I talk to say I am. But it's because, like, I don't get on, like, the lizard people thing, anything, like, super out there. Like, it has to be functional. Like, basically, like, I get on board with anything. Like, I think that people with a lot of money use that money to influence people in power so they can continue to make more money. Now, I don't think that's a conspiracy theory. I think that's just economic theory, right? Like, don't you think? Does that sound crazy to anybody? Not that guy. Not that guy with the money. He seems good. Seems like a good dude. It's just, I don't know, it's weird. And it takes you, like, you know, it puts you on, like, the dividing line on some stuff. Like the anti-vaxxer people don't want you to get the measles vaccine. Because they start talking, they're talking about like a corrupt pharmaceutical industry and a bought out government, and I'm like, anti-vaxxers scratching me right where I itch. Like I really want to get on board on this, but then just like the pure logic of it, I just can't get on board, because it's like, even if vaccines are causing autism, they're definitely still curing measles, right? Like they're definitely still nailing it on the measles front, right? So I think you gotta get it, because you don't want to get measles and die. That's shitty. Like you're dead now, right? Like I think even if it came out that vaccines, there was definitely a chance, scientifically proven chance, that you might get autism. Like you still gotta take the shot and not get measles and die, right? You just take the shot and just hope, at worst, cool piano autism. Like one of the one of the good ones. Maybe blackjack autism if you're selfish. But that's not really about the kid. That's about you. That's selfish. I don't know. Maybe, or that 3-point autism? That one don't look that bad. I know. It's too many. They're like, you can make fun of 2 autistic types of kids. Then we're off board. Doesn't matter. We're in an attic. That's our limit. No, it's just weird. Like, I don't know what the anti-vaxxers' perfect future is, right? Because you see what happens in California. Kids aren't getting vaccine. Kids are getting measles or dying. So I don't know what like their best case scenario is. It's just like 25 years from now, their perfect world is just like a graveyard full of tiny gravestones that just say shit like, here lies Timmy. He had great social skills. Like, it's like, that's best case? That's best case, guys? I know, that's a tough one. There's a dead kid in that one. That's a tough one. Dead kids are sad. It's a sad thing, right? You know why? You know what the saddest thing is? Tiny coffins, right? Is there anything sadder than a tiny coffin? It's the saddest. Here's the thing. If your kid dies, put him in a normal coffin. Like we're at the service. We're sad. We get it. Just put him in a normal coffin. We're all here, right? If you gotta have a small coffin, put him in that and then put that in a normal coffin for the service. For the service. Right? It's like the saddest Russian nesting doll ever. Just like... There's a kid in the last one. Don't look in the last one. I'm actually a father. I don't have any kids. But I have been party to an abortion. I think that should count. Right? Because even if you throw them back, you're still considered a fisherman. I think it's kind of the same. I think it's funny. Yeah, like I said, like I don't really like politics. I don't really like bankers, the business side of things. If I was one, I probably would. I'm a poor piece of shit, so I'm like, fuck you. But no, I think they're pieces of shit. And you can tell, right? Like, I just don't like, it's not even polite anymore. It's so scammy, right? Credit default swaps, all that shit. It's just, there's no politeness. Like, remember back in the day, right, during the Depression, when a group of guys got together and wrecked the economy, they had the decency to just jump out of a goddamn window, right? Just take it. Just like, they put on a top hat and you're like, it's like, men were men, so you were a gentleman. You're like, oh, really fucked that up, well-to-do, and just out a window. That's why I think none of these guys are going to jail now, right? Everyone's like, we got to put these guys in jail. I think the justice system was like, it used to be like a self-regulating system, so we don't know what to do with these guys. It's not really a crime. They just used to just be shame. So nothing we can really do about that. Here's like a real life example. Well, it wasn't real life, it was on TV. But like a real time that I was like, that the businessmen types are just, it's crazy, because I was watching something about the Aryan Brotherhood, which is like the white supremacy group that exists in prison. I was watching on Nat Geo because Nat Geo doesn't give a shit anymore. But it was very interesting, and they found out a lot of the information that they were getting for the documentary, because it was like a lot of very inside stuff, they were getting from this one dude, and it was a guy they were interviewing during the program, and they were asking him, like, why are you telling all this stuff? And he's like, well, I disbanded from the Aryan Brotherhood, and now I'm in protective custody, and I'm trying to bring him down from the inside. And at first I was like, dude, that's awesome, right? This guy probably had a change of heart, realized what he was doing was wrong, realized the flaws in his philosophy. Now he's trying to do good. But they asked him why he turned on the Aryan Brotherhood, and he said, well, when I got to jail, I thought the Aryan Brotherhood was all about white pride. And then I get there, and I see my brothers doing deals with blacks and Hispanics, and I realize it's just about business. That's how evil business is that white supremacists are like, I thought we were just hating people based on the color of their skin. I didn't know we were doing anything crazy. Like, I didn't know. I didn't know we were engaging in trade. I look like a fucking animal. Yeah, I'm not a big, like, here's the thing, guys. I'm not a communist, all right? But I do like oscillating fans, and I'm afraid that's how it starts, right? You know, especially it's starting to get warmer out, right? I'll walk into a room, I'll see an oscillating fan moving back and forth. I'm just like, that makes a lot of sense, right? Everyone gets a little bit of air. No one's super cool, but no one's really hot either. Maybe we should start doing that with money. Damn it, I think I'm in now. Like, I think that's how they get you, but I don't know. Right, like, I'm not a communist, guys, but I think just like everyone, I get a little annoyed at capitalism sometimes. Because sometimes capitalism just feels like a big, fat, sweaty guy just standing in front of the fan the whole time, like, yeah, I need all the air. And everyone's standing behind him like, you know, we need air too. And he's just like, this is good for you too. Everyone's just like, how's that good for us? He's like, well, if I'm cooler, then when I fart on you, it won't be as hot. And he's just like, everyone's just like, why don't you just not fart on us? He's just like, you don't get the economy. It's like, it's true, I do not. So, checkmate. I know the economy on this far. I know that I need to have a job or I can't stay in my apartment. I figured that out. That's about as deep as I got on that cut. And here's the thing. Does anyone in here have a job? Right? For any of you, is it the worst thing you do every day? Yes. That's how you know. If you don't know what your job is, what's the thing that makes your day the worst? That's probably your job. That's probably... if it's not, maybe it's the second worst thing, and you're like, this isn't as bad as the other thing. My last thing was the worst thing. I could do this till I'm dead. Here's the thing: is like, have you ever just been in a job like you're just in the fucking job? You're just at your desk or at the thing, and you're just in it, and you just have that moment where you're just like, now I know why people suck dick for money. Like, you get it instantly. Like, you at least start doing that dick math, you know? Like, you're just like, getting paid like $10 an hour. Got like 20 things left to do. I can knock this whole day out in like 2 dicks. Like 2 dicks, I'm just done for the day, right? Clock out, go to the park. Maybe I'm already at the park, but I'm like off the clock now at the park. I'm just hanging, hitting the swing set. You know, how bad would it be to suck dick for money? I don't know. Not that bad, I don't think. Because if you're a prostitute, you get to put a condom on it before you suck it. That's almost brushing your teeth. Like, that's like negligible, the difference at that point. I've never sucked a dick before, but I think I could fucking kill it. I don't know. Does any other straight men have that weird hubris? I think we all have that weird hubris that we're like, never did it, but I've gotten a blowjob. I've seen how it works. I can figure it out. Like, we all... I don't know if it's a sexual thing. It's like a reverse engineering thing. It's like, I figured it out. Lots of slobber, twist the wrist. Like, I got it. Like, it's not... Here is my caveat. I wouldn't be into it, and that is part of it. I admit that, and that's the thing is like I think like if I ever sucked dick, I think it would be like watching the German figure skating team, right? It would just be like technically perfect, but like just stone faced the whole time, like not really like into it. I walk dogs part time. Kind of just doing this comedy thing till the dog walking thing takes off. Well, because I can do the dog walking full time, I'll drop this. But gotta leave, gotta go for the dream. Dog walking is very weird because it has me in really, really nice neighborhoods during the day, and I don't know if you've been to a really nice neighborhood during the day, but it is just flourishing, packed, brimming with people who do not live there and never will. Like during the day, it's just dog walkers and nannies and cleaning ladies, just, I don't know, keeping rich people's houses warm or something. I don't know, just, it's weird. It's like a whole separate thing. Like, I go to this one house almost every day, walk the dog. There's a little Mexican nanny there. She takes care of the baby, right? She tells me about the baby. I tell her about the dog. It's a little less interesting. Like this baby likes sweet potatoes. That's just something I know about this baby. Like I just have facts about a baby. And like one day the baby said "dada," and like it wasn't at me. It was just something it knew. But I was like, that hit me in a weird spot. That was there. And so I'm doing this with this lady every day, and this baby, and this dog. And one time I just left to walk the dog, and while I was leaving, I was just like, I think we're like a family, I think we're like the JV family of this house, like, it's very weird. I don't know. I'll probably never retire, which is fine. I don't plan on living very long anyways. I've eaten too many chili dogs for breakfast to be an old man. Like, that's not how you become an old man. 10 a.m. chili dogs, it's insane. With no plan of curbing that. It's probably the healthiest thing I do to my body. But here's the thing is like, like my parents, people like that always ask me, like, when are you going to start thinking about retirement? When are you thinking about saving? And I don't know. Retirement always seemed dumb to me because people say they want to retire, I feel like they're just saying, like, I would like a 15 to 20 year period in my life where I kind of don't work really hard and I just do whatever I want. And I'm like, I agree. I'm just going to do that between like 24 and 36. Like, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to save it for the end like a dummy. That seems like the worst way to do it. Because I don't know, what's your worst case scenario, right? You can't retire, so you got to keep working. That doesn't seem that bad, right? Like, there's always one guy, like an old guy working at like the Subway. Everyone walks in, they're like, oh, see that old guy working at the Subway? He must have not saved. That's sad. It's like, how sad is that? Has any of you ever worked at a Subway? Right? That old guy's putting in like 2 real hours of work in his 8-hour shift. Then he's just getting high and eating salami in the walk-in. Like, it's... That's not a bad way to exit ramp off life. Like, it's like... Florida gets muggy. Walk-in always cool. Like, just hang out in there. Blow it in the exhaust fan. And then think every sandwich order is very significant. I worked at a Subway. Here's some financial advice. This helped make my life like way better. So maybe it could work for you guys. What I did that instantly made my life better, and anyone can do it. Just takes a choice. What I did was I stopped paying a credit card. Yeah, just stop paying it, and instantly debt free. Like, no more debt. Hey, did it. Now here's the thing. You guys are a little skeptical. Now they will call you. They're gonna call you, and they're gonna say stuff like, "We noticed you haven't been paying your credit card," and I'll say stuff like, "I also noticed it was super on purpose." Like, this is didn't just forget for 3 months. This is part of a big plan. And they get mad at you. They're like, you got to pay it. I'm like, nah, I don't want to. And they're like kind of mad. And we get to this point, and I'm just like, so what are you going to do? You're going to like garnish my wages, withhold my tax return, put a lien on my property? They're like, actually, we can't do any of that. And I was like, all right, I guess bye then. I guess. Think you tipped your hand a little early there, credit card company. Right, and like I was talking about businesses before, and like, you know, like I don't like them, but I'm not trying to get one up on them. I'm not trying to be the bad guy. I just want things to be equal. And I felt like we finally reached a point of equality, and that's all I wanted. Because we get down to the point of the conversation where I'm like, all right, just tell me, what are you guys going to do? And they're like, well, we can lower your credit. And I was like, well, what does that mean? And they're like, well, then people will be less likely to loan you money. I was like, they shouldn't. I'm clearly irresponsible. So I think we figured it out. I'm going to keep my money. You tell your friends. All right, have a good have a good day. I cannot answer 1-800 numbers. I can do that. I don't have any friends that live in that zip code. I don't even try to hide it, idiots. That's how you can tell that credit card companies are evil, because they've clearly like never been broke. Like everyone here laughed at that because like, yeah, 1-800 numbers, never answer those. They didn't even think of that to be a thing that they should change. Like, should we call them from their area code? No, why would that matter? Let's go buy boats now. Let's go to Thailand and bang 12-year-old boys. Like that doesn't happen. Not approving of it, just saying it exists, right? Sad, I didn't say it wasn't sad. Make a note to cut that. I don't care, I'll leave it in. Dude, I eat chili dogs for breakfast. I'll leave a shitty tag in. Here's the thing. I went to college. Anyone else fall for that pyramid scheme? College? Yeah. Really seems like a pyramid scheme end of the day, doesn't it? Like, it's like selling knives. You know a couple guys that made money off it, everyone else not so much. You know, it's just like, if you hustled, you could get something out of it. But it's weird. Like, that's a problem, right? Like, everyone always wants to look top down at problems. And that makes sense, right? No one should be blame-free. But I feel like it's weird when we never look like top up, right? Like, it's easy to, like, make fun of a philosophy major, right? Be like, philosophy major, fucking idiot, what'd you expect? Like, that's easy to do. But isn't it also responsible to look up and be like, why are all these colleges still offering a philosophy major? Like, they know it's bullshit, and they're still like, yeah, we could do that. Like, could any other company get away with selling a product as faulty as a philosophy degree? Like, if you want to do it, that's fine, but they should be responsible enough to just be like, no, just if you want to think, you could do that for free, motherfucker. Like, they should have to say that. Doesn't it seem a little predatory to go up to a 17-year-old kid who's like, I just want to think, and like, yeah, we could totally teach you that. Like, yeah, $30,000. We'll teach you how to think. The mountains in Nepal? No, Haggerty Hall, 8 a.m. It's kind of the dope thinking spot. I think it's funny, too, because, like, yeah, like, student loans are crazy. That seems like a scam in itself. Like, I honestly think the government invented student loans because they couldn't funnel crack into middle-class neighborhoods. You know, they're just like, well, we can still decimate that community. We got some. Oh, do you guys not think the government funneled crack into poor neighborhoods? I warned you earlier. Now, here's the thing, right? I have two theories on crack. First, government, poor neighborhoods, decimate communities. That's the forerunner in my mind. Now, I like to be a positive person, so I have a positive crack story. And so, and I would like it to be this way. I don't think it is, but I'd like to think it was like a cocaine dealer who was like the Henry Ford of cocaine. And he was just like, I gotta make a cocaine for the people. You know, like, I think it's bullshit that the people selling this cocaine can't afford it. And then crack was like his Model T. You know, just like, it was like a cocaine for everybody, you know? And then people started dying, and he's like, what do you want from me? I'm a cocaine dealer. It's not. Yeah, we're gonna sell it. Yeah, I don't know. And that's what's funny about college, too, is like, while going to college, I felt like I was the most dumb I ever was before or after. And that doesn't seem right. I was like around the most books. Like I should have been. I think it's because like I'm a guy and I live with other guys. Like I think that just makes you like perpetually dumber. Like it's like a quotient. And like it's weird because you can be with like intelligent people, but it's not that kind of dumb. It's like I live like with engineering majors, but saw like so many ball sacks. You know, just like a guy who's like calculus. Meh, you know, like it's just like. It's weird, and then you get kind of immersed in, like, all right, here's why. This is something we did all the time when I lived in the dorms in college, and it's a prank, and I stand by today that is the dumbest prank in the history of pranks. It's dumb, and it was the thing to do in college when we're supposed to be learning. Here's the prank. If you left your computer unattended, like you went to shower, you went to the gym, and we could get on your computer, there was no, like, passcode or anything, what we do is we'd set your desktop background as gay porn. That was the prank. Now, if you want to know how this prank went down, what happens is you leave, 10, 20 guys huddle around your computer and look at gay porn for about 20 minutes. Like, right? And everyone's standing around like, gayer, yeah, because it's got to be extra gay. And like, you go down this like weird wormhole where you're like, is this even gay? Like it's just two naked guys like shooting each other and you're like, it's dudes and I'm disturbed. Is this gay? I don't know. You gotta really zing Brad. You know, it's just like, and it's dumb. So you huddle around with dudes in front of a computer, look at gay porn for 20 minutes, guy comes back, looks at it for 30 seconds, goes, oh man, and you're like, ha ha, homo, and that's the prank. It's the dumbest prank in the history of pranks. That's what we did. I'm not a very religious person. Thank you. And it seems hard. Like, it genuinely seems hard. Like, I do have, I can see that. And I can kind of, I don't want to say respect, but there's something about it seems hard. Like, I'm not religious. It seems just like an easier path, like. Because if you're religious, like, you're in that circle, right? You're in that part of the Venn diagram. Whatever you believe or don't believe, like, you're in it. Like, you're part of that group. Right? So, like, no matter how, like, moderate or liberal you are as a religious person, like, when you see something like the Westboro Baptist Church, like, you're kind of in that. Like, that's part of your community, It's not part of mine, right? Like, they hold up a sign that says, like, God hates fags. Like, I'm not religious, so when I see a sign like that, to me, it just reads, like, Superman hates fags. And I'm just like, I don't think that's true. And also, it's in a comic book, so I'm not going to, like, base legislation off it. It's kind of stupid. But I feel like if you're religious, no matter what style, you got to look at that, and to you, it's got to read like your dad hates fags, and so you end up saying stuff like, "No, you just don't understand. Like he works real hard, and like he's from a different time. Like it was Thanksgiving. He was drinking. Like he's not usually like that. Like he's a good dude." I think. And it's funny, like, I wish people, I think it's not religion, it's the fighting between religions that's the issue, and I wish they would just get together, Like, it seems more obvious, right? Like if I'm not religious, you're religious, and, I go at you, you come at me, like, I see the rivalry there. But then when, like, other religions fight, it seems so dumb, because it's like, you guys are both in the thing, Like, it just seems like... Right? And it's because they're the type of people that are so otherworldly and so, like, they believe in the oneness of everything and life after death, like, all these amazing, beautiful, transcendent things. And then they fight over, like, land. Like shitty land, too. Like, not even good. Not like Aruba, like desert shit land. Like, and they get real mad, It's just weird to think of someone like that who's just like, God is everywhere. But he's here the most. He's the most. He's the fucking most here, dude. Like, touch it. It's like greasy, but not at the same time. That's God from the tap. That's tap God. That's fucking California wine God. That's Russian vodka God. That's, He's right here. He's everywhere, but like, he's fucking here. Like, don't fuck. That guy says his is, but it's ours. Fuck that guy. I hate that guy. Don't you guys believe the same thing? You need to leave. I feel like it's weird. I trimmed my pubes recently. We get to take a break from heavy-handed stuff. Talk about my dick. I think it's funny to shave your pubes. Or nice. I just do it because I like the way it feels, right? I trim my pubes. I just feel loose and nice. It feels good. And I know you guys are like, Justin, we don't give a shit. And I'm like, totally fair. And the only reason I bring it up to be specific is because like a lot of people say stuff like, I hear a lot of guys say like, oh, dude, you got to trim your pubes, man. You got to trim your pubes, man. Makes your dick look bigger. Makes your dick look bigger. I'm like, I don't know if that is or is not true, but I've yet to meet a vagina with eyes, so I think once you get inside, jig is up. Like, I think she's on to your illusion at that point, you know? Like, if that's really your game to use trickery of the eye, you should go the opposite way with it. You grow out a giant bush, right? You get inside, she's like, woo. You're like, yeah, mystery inch hiding in the bush, you know? Like, like, you didn't judge, so you got a bonus because you're a good person, right? It's like when you meet the old lady in the woods and you help her and it turns out she's an angel. It's like that. But dick. It's a dick fable. It's a dick fable. I think it's funny, too, like, religious people get mad, like, when you play God. They don't like that. They say that phrase a lot. Like, you can't play God. Who are you to play God? You can't play God. It's like, yeah, that's true, but, like, they only get mad when you play God when you kill somebody, not when you give someone life. And I think if we could all boil God down to, like, a generic God that we could all kind of envision, I think we could all agree if there is a God, and it's just this generic God figure. I think the two main things he does, right, gives you life. And that's got to be his favorite, right? He loves you, wants to create. That's got to be the thing that he wants to do. It's his favorite, right? Then he has to kill you. Not his favorite. Least favorite. Has to, though. Part of the cycle of life. Has to do it. Doesn't want to. Has to. Right? So now think about it, right? You're a doctor. Guy comes in with a heart attack. You save his life. You're like, yeah! Save this guy's life! I did it! God's got to be pissed because now you just did his favorite thing and he has to do his least favorite thing twice. Like, that guy still got to die. God's got to be pissed. Like, what? Why'd you save Bob? Now I got to hit him with a bus or something. I don't know. This is fucked up. Can I ask you a question? Why don't you want Bob to go to heaven? You know, I want Bob he was going to heaven. Now he's got to go back to his shitty job because you saved his life. Let me ask you this. How'd you save his life? Science? You know I hate science. Like, you know that. It's not just fossils, dude. It's all that shit. I don't like any of it. That's why I think if you're really religious, you know, you should form walls around oncologists, right? All those doctors keeping people out of heaven. Whereas you got these good abortion doctors putting people right on the Heaven Express, right? You're just like, out and up, out and up, out and up. Instant angel. We're having a good time. People have been talking about the cops recently. I think we can all agree the cops have been out of control recently. Last 30, 40 years. Relatively recently. Here's the thing, right? People want to talk about that the cops are racist. And here's the thing. I'll stand up for them and say that I don't think racism in the police department is a widespread problem. There are some racist cops, that's an issue, but I don't think all cops are racist. And I think calling them racist glosses over the larger issue that while not all of them are racist, all of them are dumb, right? And I think we're really missing out on that fact, right? That's not a weird statement, right? Like, no cop's origin story is like, well, I was gonna take the chemistry degree at MIT, but, you know, I wanted to stick around home, so I just thought I'd become a cop. No, I think most cops' origin story is like, I was gonna be a security guard, and then I thought, what's another 13 hours of training? You know, like I think, why not? It's crazy, right? I don't know. It's just like Neil deGrasse Tyson didn't almost become a cop. Like, you know, like that wasn't on his. I'm sure he got pushed into lockers by future cops in high school. I'm sure that happened. Right? Like, what do you think cops are? They're city-level public employees. They're bus drivers with military-grade equipment. And you wonder why shit gets crazy. I don't know. I guess they're heroes or whatever. But that seems like overrated too, because it's like, I mean, are they? Like, they're around crime, but in the city you live in. So you're around the same crime, and you don't have a gun. So if the bar for hero is danger, you're the hero. They're the ones that come after the danger left and write it down on a notepad. Like, that's not... How's that heroic? If being a hero is just about danger, who's the hero in the situation? You got a wife getting teed off on by her husband. The cop comes a half hour later, goes, if you don't want to press charges, there's nothing we can do. Who's the hero in that situation if it's just about danger? I think it's the lady. I don't think it's the guy that's like, all right, we'll see you in a week. Like, I don't think that's what heroes do. I don't know though. Let me drink this real quick. Thank you. And that's the funny thing too. I just think racism's always looked at like in a really odd way. Like, I was watching like a talk show, like a morning talk show, and there was a guy. He was like a racist dude, and you know, just generally like, oh, you're racist. He's like, totally. And I mean, he was more like, totally. You know, like, you know how it sounds. And they show a picture of his family, like on the screen behind him, and so it's a whole family of racists. They're all, you know, being racist, doing racist stuff, and there's a couple kids in the picture, like little kids being racist, and the whole audience is shocked. They're like, "Huh? See those children being racist? That's shocking." I'm like, is it? I mean, they're dumb. They're kids. They're the dumbest people in that picture. Why wouldn't they be racist, right? You know, like. They believe that some old dude gives them presents once a year. Why wouldn't they believe black people steal or whatever dumb shit you tell them? Like, they're just gonna believe whatever you say. It's not. I'm shocked that there's a 30-year-old man in that picture that believes the same thing. That's the shocking part about that picture. I think it's so backwards, right? Like, your grandpa says something real racist at Thanksgiving. Everyone's just like, oh, he doesn't know any better. It's like, he knows the most things. Like, how does... Just give him a pass. I don't know. It's weird. It's just funny too. Like, my uncle, right? He's in his 60s, and he started forwarding me all these racist emails and posting all this racist stuff on Facebook. Not like super racist, just like politically active racist. You know, like that. Like, but like you could tell. You know. And so it's my uncle. It's my mom's brother. So I'm talking to my mom. And I'm just like, hey, can you tell him to stop doing that? Or like, at least stop sending it to me. Like, I don't need to see it, but he shouldn't do it at all. And my mom's like, you know, I mean, you just don't know. He's just from a different time. And I was like, yeah, that time also didn't have email or Facebook. So clearly he can learn things. Like, he's not. It's not above new ideas. I cried for the first time as an adult recently. Yeah, it was a good thing. Yeah, you clap for it. It was super positive. Very positive experience. I just never really cried as an adult. Nothing, no really big reason, just the general, just as a guy, just as a kid, I was always just years of, you know, walk it off, and, you know, you learn to push that shit down. Like, I never even realized it. Like, I just thought when you got real sad, your throat hurt real bad. Like, I thought that was normal. I was telling a girl that once. I was like, yeah, you know, you get real sad and your throat hurts? And she's like, no. It's like, that's you getting your emotions caught right about here, and it just paining you fucking sociopath. It's like, oh, I didn't know. And it was no like big event. Nothing really big happened. It was just a bunch of little stuff. I was just feeling really stressed out. I was sitting in my apartment. And I just cried. Just cried real hard for like 5 minutes, which isn't that long, but it's a long time to cry. It's a long cry. And afterwards, like, I felt fucking great. I felt like $1 million. Like, it was the best I ever felt. Like, it just dried off, and I was like, all right, let's go get it. Like, I felt awesome. Why have I not been doing this? It's great. It kind of felt like coming. But like healthier. Like, I sincerely think tears are the cum of the soul. You know, like they're just gotta let it out. It's weird. And that's the thing I was thinking about. Like, because I said that there's no real reason why I shouldn't have, except, just, gender, normative kind of shit. And then I was thinking about, like, girls, like, because talking about coming and crying, like, I think it's a bummer as like a girl. It's definitely fucked up that you can't express yourself sexually in an open way. Like, you're shamed for that. Like, that's fucked up. That's not cool. But the fact that you could cry whenever you want, I think you won that coin flip. Like, I think, like, it's not good, but it's better that you could do that. Because, like, not only is crying better, it feels better, it's healthier, and you could do it wherever you want. Like, you can't come wherever you want, but you can cry anywhere. Like, you could cry at work. Right? You can't just start coming at work. Like, no one. Like, you can't just start jerking off in the corner and your boss is just like, it's cool. Like, the report didn't go well. Just let him come it out. Just let him come it out. It'll be okay. And that's the other weird thing, is like, that's the thing that sucks about it. It's good that it's in my life, but I'm sorry it came in so late because, like, if you know a language, like if you grow up with a language and you learn like a second or a third language, like it's in you, like it's put in the hard drive, So it's just part of your brain now. It's like locked in, and that's different than learning a language as an adult. Because if you learn a language as an adult, it's always like bolted on. It's like it's never as good as if you got it early, and that's how I can tell, right? Because we're always like, if a girl cries like a Hallmark commercial, like we always like want to make fun of her, and like I get it because it's like a commercial. It's not really like meaningful medium, but it's a real thing. It's like a girl going off to college. Like, it's a real situation that they're crying over. Like, that's healthier than you think it is, right? Like, I got into crying late, so that shit doesn't do it for me. I'm sitting around when I feel like it coming on watching like Eddie Guerrero tribute videos. Like, that's not I don't think it's like the way to do it. I'm like, I think I'm doing this wrong. I just wanted to tell you guys before I get going. First of all, thank you guys very much for fucking coming out. Fucking insane. You guys are goddamn insane in the best ways. And that's the thing is, like, I wanted to record here because I just, as soon as I moved to Chicago almost a year ago now, I've always enjoyed the people here and the sets here, and it's one of the best rooms I've ever been a part of. And I think that's the thing is, like, because like people like listen to my comedy, kind of cynical. And I mean, that's partly because like it's funnier that way. No one wants to be like, what do you think's funny? How awesome shit is? Like, that's not funny. So you take like an edgier stance, but like, like it is sometimes how I feel, and I'll talk to people about that, like how I feel about, money and the economy and politics and religion and all that shit, and how you could be so cynical, and people are always like, how do you curb that? Like, what is your solution? How do you fix things? How do you make things better? Especially like in your lifetime so that you can have a good life. And I don't know. I think it's shit like this because, this has been in a garage before I moved here. It's in an attic now. It's in another garage. If this thing burns down because of some weird Chinese fire, like, like some weird like biofuel guys break in, try to steal the grease, and then just set the shit out. I mean, they'll do this shit behind like the dumpster behind the Family Dollar. It'll be just as dope. It'll be just as good of a show. Because this room isn't about the four walls. It's about the people inside, and it always will be. And that's how you make your life better. When people always ask how I can see shit so bad and how I can think that life can still be good, it's because you just have to focus on things like love and creativity and passion, because those are the kind of things that can't be commodified. No one can sell them to you. No one can take them from you. If you just focus on those things, you'll always be happy. And if you come to the shithole, you'll always have them. Thank you guys very much.
Got this body, it's tired of me. Needs some better weather, needs some sleep. Got this body and it's tired of me. So I'm wandering till I set my body free. Walked along the gypsy highway, stopped in bodegas on the boulevard, and I've been worshiping at the altar, late nights, living hard. And I got this body and it's tired of me. Needs some better weather, needs some sleep. Got this body and it's tired of me. So I'm wandering till I set my body free. And I still got miles left before I sleep.